6'9" Japet Aguilar, 6'4" Ranidel de Ocampo. Lugi tayo sa lahat ng presinto. We are overmatched in size. When we find ourselves in this situation, when we are overmatched in size, what do we resort to? What do we do to make sure that we secure this all-important rebound?
Wang to make it a three-point gap.
We do it by what we call gang rebounding. Take a look. All 5 white uniforms are in the shaded lane where all the rebounds are made, as against only 2 or 3 from China. This is an example of gang rebounding. For leaders, when push comes to shove, in tough situations, in a crisis, do you have the ability to get all hands on deck? Everyone right there in the shaded lane where the possessions are secured? Or are there people still outside meandering parang namamasyal sa luneta? To the individual contributors, when the chips are down and you really need to be able to pass a project or make a really big contribution, how willing are you to be right there where the action is? And Gilas, the way we do it, even when we are outmatched in size, gang rebounding. And by the way, this is what I call my 10 leadership lessons in 10 seconds. Okay, so in 10 seconds, we will share with you 10 leadership lessons. The first was the lesson on stamina and endurance. The second, the lesson on gang rebounding. That allows us to be able to get the rebound. How is it possible for 5'10" L.A. Tenorio, the pinaka-cute of all, to get the rebound amidst all these 7-footers? Example of great quickness and agility. So this is how we were able. First, we got it because everyone was there, 5 people gang rebounding, and now we're able to take advantage of our quickness and our agility. As L.A. Tenorio is able to get the basketball, what does he do next? He's pushing it up in what we call our transition offense. What is he trying to do? Take a look at these guys. Japet Aguilar, Marcus Dautit, Ranidel de Ocampo. What is their position? They're all in a runner, in a sprinter's crouch. Okay, what are they trying to do? They're trying to get to the other end of the floor before the defense gets set up. This is an excellent example of a go-to-market strategy. Getting there before the kalaban, before the competition has a chance to get set up. And they take a look at their position. Everyone in this runner's crouch. Nobody is having their knees straight and para lang namamasyal sa luneta. How is your position? Especially now, we're approaching the 4th quarter of the year. I don't know what your calendar is, but when push comes to shove, okay, when the chips are down, are you ready in that sprinter's crouch? In a position to go as fast as you can to the other side. So this is our transition offense. What does China do to try to stop it? The Chinese player fouls, but body checks L.A. Tenorio. See? Body check, clear foul on the Chinese guy. Angat yung dalawang paa ni L.A. Tenorio sa lakas ng pagkabangga. Clear foul. But the referee does not blow his whistle. Classic case of lutong Macau, right? But this is a great example of resilience on L.A. Tenorio's part. Why? We teach our players, you're not going to get every whistle. You're not going to get every break in the ball game. But that doesn't mean that you should stop playing. Resilience demands that if your plans are disrupted, if you don't get what you want, you still continue playing. We do that by finding ways to make our practices more difficult than the games. Our ability sometimes in practice, tatanggalan namin ng hangin yung bola para mas mahirap mag-dribble. Sometimes we will practice our offense being guarded by 6 guys. We find ways to make our practices more difficult than the games. What is that application in your line of work? How can you make your practices more difficult than your games? So that when situations like this arise, LA Tenorio has every right to just fall with the ball outside. Hindi tumawag ang referee, bola na ng China, tapos na yung laro. But LA Tenorio, off balance, still finds a way to make this pass to his open teammate. And how is it possible for LA Tenorio, off balance, floating in midair, to still make that pass to his teammate Paul Lee? It was made possible because Paul Lee took it upon himself to be at the right place at the right time in a great show of teammanship. That's what great teammates do. They are dependable. They are reliable, maaasahan. Pag nagkakaproblema ang isang kasama, nandun sila para tulungan ang isa't isa. That's teammanship. There was no play called. Walang play, hindi kami tumawag ng play, but it is a reaction for Paul Lee coming down. Nakatalikod na siya dito, pero lumingon siya, nakita niya, uy, may problema si LA. He gets open. And now LA is able to make the pass. And when Paul Lee catches the basketball, he knows exactly what to do with it.
Lee lines it up. His foul on the three-point attempt.
Chill na.
He's going to go to the free throw line with no time. They take the fake. They all land on him. Julian Baeki on top. I'm not sure which one he's called. It doesn't matter.
Nagalit pa siya, no?
Paul Lee.
And now, how is it possible for a person to perform under excruciating pressure? Take a look. Your team is down 2 points, no more time remaining. And the fate of 100 million Filipinos riding on your shoulders. How is it possible to perform under such pressure? We do that by our approach to pressure. Some people or some coaches will say, huwag niyo isipin yung pressure, that doesn't exist. I disagree. In contrast, we tell our players, pressure exists. Of course, you have Gilas written across your chest. Of course, there is pressure. Kung ayaw niyo ng pressure, itong kayo sa interbarangay na laban, walang pressure doon. Ladies and gentlemen, you are Stolt-Nielsen, Philippines. You're part of a global conglomerate. Of course, there is pressure. Kung ayaw niyo ng pressure, doon kayo magtrabaho sa pangalan ng kalaban niyo. Mga ano, sino-sino lang dyan. Okay? Hindi mo naka-record to, right? Okay. But seriously, think about it. You are Stolt-Nielsen, Philippines. And I always get that, Coach, ang hirap ng trabaho namin. We have got such heavy workloads. I've got to do this, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And I submit, what if we reframe that? Very simple. Change the letter O to letter E. Instead of complaining, I've got to do this, let us be thankful we get to do this. Pinili natin to eh. Meron ba ditong pinili na para magtrabaho dito sa Stolt-Nielsen? Was anyone forced at gunpoint to work here? You applied for this job, right? Tama? Oh. You chose this. You get to do this. How many people will give up an arm and a leg to be seated where you are right now? You get to do this. And that is our approach to pressure. We tell our players, gusto nyo mag-Gilas, gusto nyo Pilipinas dito, you get to do this. I'm reminded by Maria Sharapova. On the morning of her first Wimbledon championship, pagising niya, there was a text message on her phone from Billie Jean King. Sabi ni Billie Jean King, pressure is a privilege. Champions take chances. Ladies and gentlemen of Stolt-Nielsen, you have the privilege of being under that pressure. You get to do this. And so we tell our players, don't sweep pressure under the rug. Embrace that pressure, but focus on WIN. What's important now? Every single one of you, regardless of your job title, what's the most important thing now in the performance of your job? For Paulie, what is he focusing on? The first thing he's focusing on is his breathing. The way we started this talk, he's using his breathing to slow down his heart rate. Relaxed shooters are good shooters. If you have a fast heart rate, it affects your pulse. So we coach our players how to use their breathing to slow down their heart rate to have a relaxed release. The second thing he's focusing on are his mechanics. Balance, flex of the knees, release, follow through. How important are your mechanics in your line of work? And I always remind people, don't just be good, don't just be proficient, be absolutely brilliant at the basics. So those are the basics and the mechanics Paulie is focusing on that allows him to do this. Uy, binibitin tayo ah.
It's the ball screen from Bayeki on top. Not sure with Paul Lee. Is it a game we'd want to forget? Now has a chance to win it. Makes the first.
Kaya baka di ma-shoot.
Lee for the time.
And I love this picture. What a great picture of what a great team is all about. Look at these guys. Mga bangko nga ito, hindi nga naglalaro eh. But take a look. They're just as involved, just as excited as everyone on the floor. That's what great teams do. That's what great teammates do. It's not only about the players on the floor. It's not only about the superstars, the support staff. Perhaps those who are in the bench, you are just as important to the victory of your team as the Paulies, as the shooters, as the superstars. That's what great teams are all about. When it's not about me, but it's only about we.
This to win the bronze medal for the Philippines. Bronze medal for the Philippines. They never ever lead in the game until time expires.
They never ever lead in the game until time expires. That, my friends, is what resilience is all about. The ability to just never ever give up.